Okay, essentially what we're looking at here is a scale diagram completed by myself from all of the measurements I took at the scene that night, including the roadway, any of the road evidence, and any of the other evidence that I thought was pertinent actually to the collision itself. Here, determining what evidence there was in the roadway and to try and come up with some kind of a solution as to what caused the collision and what were the sequence of events through that collision.
And how does that help doing that? What's
I mean, in any collision has to be treated, in essence, just like a crime scene. We don't know what's happened. Just gonna walk the shoulder, Skeeter. The biggest thing for most people to understand is how quickly these things happen. Almost to the point of boom, 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 airborne, boom, into the water.
Is this where it started?
You see where the yellow curve sign is back there? He's back this side of it,
okay,
and coming towards this actual curve here that we're looking at here, which is the first tire mark that was noted from the involved vehicle. And essentially the tire marks carried on in the northbound lane, crossing over into the southbound lane, and the car is now sideways in essence, pointing in this direction while it's side slipping, coming across the surface of the road and gradually onto the shoulder and then into the guardrail itself that you see the end of it there.
Right.
There could be braking going on at this point in time, you know, depends on what his response to what's going on is. He may be trying to get back out of it, depending how good a driver he is.
He's a 20-year-old kid driving an S4.
Yeah. Once he's reached this point, it's pretty much unrecoverable as far as what he would actually have been thinking or what they would have been thinking. For most people, for lack of a better word, the oh shit factor, or the factor when you realize you're now starting to get into trouble, is when that car starts to get more sideways and more side slipping. And in this case, you're likely well over to the southbound edge of the roadway into the gravel, and then now you're sideways and you see stuff coming at you, and the inability to basically be able to stop for it, I would suspect. The car is now into the guardrail, took out 3 guardrail posts, and then actually folded the guardrail back upon itself. It's now losing the energy that it was having, and it's doing that by taking out these posts on the guardrail and folding the guardrail back on itself, basically back into these trees. Before the car tripped, went airborne, hit the tree. It was broken off about 5 meters above the ground. The car continued airborne out to its final rest place in the water. You can't help think about the life that was there, the people that they have left behind. I mean, you know, it's part of the side of the job that we don't like doing, and having to tell people why things have happened. And yeah, it stays with you. It stays with you your entire life. I mean, I don't forget collisions like this. I don't forget collisions where children have died. You can't erase them from your memory. We always want to assess blame, and we always want to talk about who's at fault and whether they should be charged criminally or whatever else. Somebody just made a decision, and it was a bad decision. How many times do we have to bang people over the head and say, you know, you shouldn't drink and drive, you should wear your life jacket, you should wear your seatbelt, you should slow down? People still do it. We all figure we're invincible, we all figure we're going to live forever. It's not till you start hitting my age, and especially doing what I do, I mean, that you start realizing, you know what, this life is finite. There's a beginning and there's an end, and hopefully we all get through it semi-unscathed, but some aren't so fortunate.